You ever feared a parent? My mom hated school photos, not in a bad haircut type way, just freaked out. She was great for everything else. Volunteered to chaperone field trips, knew all my teachers' names, helped with bake sales, but picture day turned her into a crazy person. School photo permission slips went missing, and class photos would arrive without my name listed on the bottom, with the rest of my classmates' names. Whenever I asked why, she'd just said, "You don't need your face out there." I grew up thinking my mother was just a little bit loony, that maybe she had some kind of unresolved trauma and didn't want me to go through the same. Then came my junior year. My yearbook advisor wrote an email saying my photo was missing for the third year in a row. "We really need it. No exceptions this time," she wrote. My mother said no. It was final. I argued. I told her that everyone would notice, that colleges would ask questions. She snapped back that it didn't matter. We yelled. She cried. I'd never seen her cry over something so small. I went to school the next day and took the photo anyway. It was stupid and petty, but I was tired of being invisible. The picture showed up 2 weeks later when the yearbook was previewed online. I didn't even think about it until my mom came into my room that night. Mom came in holding her phone with shaking hands. "Did you take a picture at school?" she asked. I nodded, confused. "Yeah, why?" I asked. She sat down on my bed like her legs couldn't hold her anymore. "We need to talk, now," my mother simply said. My stomach dropped at her tone. That usually meant nothing good. She locked my bedroom door, which she'd never done before in my life. Then she told me a story she'd clearly rehearsed 1,000 times but hoped never to say. She told me how when she was 23 she was married to a man named Damien. He was charming, smart, and well-liked. The perfect guy. But then he turned controlling and restricting. Slowly isolated her from friends and family. By the time she realized what was happening, she was pregnant with me and terrified. She tried to leave, but he told her she couldn't. "He told me if I ever took you from him, he'd make sure I never saw you again," she whispered. She had stayed until the night he left me alone in a running car for 20 minutes. She got out the next day, took me while he was at work, and hid at my aunt's house. Mom filed for divorce and he fought for custody. That's when things got weird. He didn't want custody, just control, Mom said. Damien had told the courts that he believed Mom kidnapped a child that wasn't hers and she was mentally unstable. He tried to claim that I wasn't even his daughter biologically. The case that I wasn't his child fell apart when DNA proved him wrong because he was my biological father. Damien lost it fully when he violated a restraining order. He disappeared. No one knew where he went, Mom said. I shook a little. "But what does this have to do with the photos?" I asked. "Because he didn't disappear completely," Mom said. She stood and took out a locked box from deep in my closet I hadn't ever noticed. Inside were screenshots of old social media profiles and a grainy photo of a man standing behind the crowd at what looked like a school play. I found these over the years. Different names, different states, but the same face, Mom said. My stomach drops. "You think he's been watching us?" I asked. Mom looked at me. "I know he has. Every few years something pops up. A comment, a photo pops up, someone asking a question they shouldn't," Mom said. It made me question everything I thought I knew. The weird questions some people would ask. It shook my trust. How many people did my father have connections to? It made me scared. "We have an advantage though," Mom said softly, like she was sharing a secret, something she learned early on in their marriage. Damien was face blind. He had trouble recognizing faces, especially as people aged. He relied on photos, patterns, and context. He might not recognize you in person, but photos, especially with a name and your school, Mom said. "That's why I kept you off the internet, the walls, everything," Mom explained. I felt sick. "What happens now?" I asked. "We be careful and wait," Mom sighed. 2 weeks later, a man stopped by my school's front office, asking to see me. Claimed he was my uncle and my mom sent him. The secretary said no and security escorted him out. We moved for the last time after that. New state, new identities, and all completely legally invisible. Turns out my mom had every right to be worried.